Welcome to this short induction activity on reading skills for learning at Newcastle College. The aim of this activity is to show you a strategy to help you read and retain information from written documents. So the only equipment that you're going to need as part of this task is a highlighter. And the only other thing that you need is to have some sort of an awareness of the function of a hashtag on social media. So the point of a hashtag is to pinpoint the essential content of a text. So you might use one to pick up on the key message or the key transferable information that you see in a written document or in a post that you put on social media or an image. So we're just going to take that concept of the hashtag and use it to summarize information that you read. This is going to be hopefully useful for you in vocational sessions whenever you have a document to read. It could be used in sessions or in independent study. If you get the hang of this strategy and start to use it frequently, it will become second nature. So it's something that will improve and you'll get faster at the more that you do it. It would also be really useful in exams or for assignment briefs to help you pinpoint what the essential information is. And also outside of your vocational learning, this sort of close reading strategy and summarising the key points could also be useful for you in real life. If you were buying a car or you were applying for a mortgage and you had to read the terms and conditions, it might be useful for you to read them carefully and pinpoint what the takeaway information is. So, the first step when you're using the highlight and hashtag strategy is to skim the text. So you need to skim from beginning to end. It's really important that you don't just give up because you're not finding the text very interesting. It's not that stimulating. Often the key message, the key takeaway information may be in the final paragraph. So you have to make yourself read all the way to the end. The second stage is to highlight, but a common error that people make is to just go highlighter crazy and start highlighting the whole text. If you highlight too much, you might as well have highlighted nothing, because when you look back at the page, you're not going to be any better off. You'll still just see a lot of words that all look the same. So you have to get into the habit of highlighting just the key points. So perhaps 2 or 3 things per line maximum. Would help you to get the main information, not just end up with a page that's bright yellow. The final stage is the hashtag. So once you've read and highlighted the key information, you want to just hashtag at the bottom to summarize the text. And this should just be what you feel is the essential information that you need to know. And this is just for you. This reading strategy is personal to you. It's just to help you to retain the information. So do it in your own style. Make them funny, make them memorable. You can use more than one. It's useful sometimes to build up hashtags to pick out the key points. But the essential thing is it's for you. So do it in your style and then you're much more likely to remember it. So I'm just going to demonstrate now with the text how I would use the highlight and hashtag strategy. So I've got a text in front of me. I'm going to share so that you can see on my visualizer. So you should be able to see here in front of me, I've got a text which is about implementing social distancing measures in early years childcare settings. So if I maximise that, you can see it. I'm going to read through and I'm just going to highlight what I consider to be the key information. So in England, I'm going to highlight England, the Department for Education, that acronym there, has published guidance on social distancing for schools and childcare. This sets out measures that settings should take to minimise the risk of transmission of coronavirus, whilst ensuring children are being well cared for. Early years settings have been asked to welcome more children back to school. So I've highlighted just more there because that's a reminder to me that the situation's changed, and at this point when this guidance has been issued, settings are being asked to take more children. The DfE has published guidance on implementing protective measures in education and childcare settings. So if we have a look at my first paragraph here, you can see I've only highlighted about 10 words within a whole paragraph. So when I look back at that, I've got a much better chance of being able to retain and remember what the key information was, rather than just seeing all of it. The DfE has also published planning guidance as they welcome more children back to childcare. This includes advice on ensuring there is sufficient physical distancing between staff and between groups of children. Detail is given on how many square metres should be allowed per child, area dividers and floor markings can be used, and how the use of communal spaces should be avoided. The DfE has published guidance that advises early years providers to ensure that there are no more than 16 children. So that's really important that I retain that specific information of how many children. Providers can have several groups. The guidance states that while 16 children is the maximum in a group, keeping groups to 8 children is preferable, so groups are as small as possible. So I've skim read it and I've highlighted the key information. I now need to hashtag what I feel are the key takeaway sort of messages. So I'm going to have hashtag minimize COVID-19 risk, hashtag social distancing, I'm going to put something about groups, so hashtag separate groups. I'm going to have max 16, better 8. And then I'm just going to put one more, child care reopens, to remind myself that that is the key change that's happened, that's come about. So I've got 5 hashtags there that are going to remind me of what the key messages is. This is just for myself. I'm not expecting anyone to mark it. I'm not going to give it to anyone else. These hashtags and this highlighted sheet is just for me. So I'll take you back to the PowerPoint and show you what your task is. So your task, first in your induction record, if you just use the box that's marked reading skills, to just summarise, maybe using 3 bullet points and a question, just summarise for yourself what you've taken in about this highlight and hashtag strategy. Following that, once you've got a summary for yourself, use text B, which you'll be given as part of your session. Text B is from a construction publication, and you're going to do the same as what I did with the childcare one. So use text B to have a go yourself at reading, highlighting, and then hashtagging that text. And then finally, compare your hashtag with someone else. Did you take away the same information? So after you and someone else in your group read the same text, just compare and see what you both retained, what you took away as the key information. Finally, next time that you read any document, have a go at using the highlight and hashtag strategy. And as I said at the start, the more that you use it, the more normal it'll feel, and it'll be an effective way for you to read documents, retain information, and it's a useful reading study skill for your learning at Newcastle College.